what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one and the only Ash Brown. This is the Ash Said It Show, and we are on episode 1999. All right, 1999 episodes since 2014, and it is absolutely astounding. I just want to take this moment to just say thank you to each and every one of you guys that has ever supported this show by listening, by streaming, by being a guest. I definitely want to say thank you so much because, as a lot of you know, this show did not start on the best of terms. I started the show in 2014 after the passing of my mom. And, you know, as a lot of you know, she passed within 12 hours of me shipping for the Army. And this show was really my audio diary where I was just sharing my grief. I'd been through grief before. I'd lost loved ones here and there, but my mom was my heart on this earth. And with her passing, I didn't really know I didn't know what to do. That first year was like my throwaway year. I don't know how I got through. God got me through. God saw me through, but I did not know how to live. I didn't know life anymore. Didn't recognize it. So when someone suggested that I do this Spreaker app, I was like, I don't want to do radio again. I'm done with radio. People are unreliable. People don't do what they're supposed to do. You know, whoop-de-woo. And they're like, no, you can just do it on your phone. So I did these 2-minute, 3-minute segments. And a lot of it, I was crying. A lot of it was really sad and depressing. And I would get downloads here and there, which was cute. That was nice. Okay, random people are listening to it around the world. Nice. They sent me an email and said that they were adding shows to iHeartRadio. And would I like to add my show? And I'm thinking to myself, this random show that I randomly do whenever I remember, that's about nothing, and it's pretty sad. Yeah, y'all are going to put it on iHeartRadio. Okay. So, put in the application anyways. And about a year later, still not doing the show consistently, they sent me an email congratulating me and telling me, oh, we're so glad, you're a part of the iHeartRadio family. Your show's now available around the world, all these things. And I was completely mortified because the show was really not formatted in any aspect and really didn't have a theme. So I reached out to a lot of my local friends and people that I knew that had businesses, new products, events, and I had them on the show. And from then till now, it's grown into this being that I'm so proud of, that I get to talk to people from all around the world, all walks of life, all religions, all backgrounds, and I get to hear their stories of triumph and freedom. And it's amazing. So I just want to say thank you to so many of you guys that have supported this show. I mean it with all of my being. Thank you so much. And for this 1999th episode, I have got the best scent in the house, the curator, the creator, the man, and the brand, Tony Rouse.
Hey! I'm over here like, man, that was a very good intro. Yeah, okay. That's what's up.
Yes. So, Tony, thank you so much for being a part of this celebration, essentially, because I had no idea.
It's a celebration.
It's a celebration.
And thank you for your service. I didn't know you had a military background. So thank you. That's major.
Yes.
That's major.
I was in the Army Reserve, and they kept me in that contract, even though I didn't finish training. But that's another story.
A few episodes down the road.
There's a few episodes in there.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, I didn't even know the background of how this started, and that's major. Like you said, hey, you cried your way through it, and it worked out. But I mean, that's consistency over time, and it's like, yo, you talking about 1,000? Now you look at 1,999.
Insane.
That is crazy, but that's consistency. That is that's what it is. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yes, just, the dedication that's gone into it. But I think a lot of it is the feedback that I get from people that say, oh my gosh, thank you for having this person on. I decided to start a business because of them, or I saw them in my neighborhood selling blah, 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 or, just making those connections. And as we're talking about making connections, Tony, you're quite the connector yourself.
Yeah.
You are quite the connector. And just connecting people. So where do you think that even, when did that happen for you? Or when did you start to recognize it, I should say?
It's kind of always been along the way. I think earlier, when I think about a lot of things, one of the conversations I had recently talking about, being extrovert and introvert, it's funny enough, because one of the things, I am an introverted extrovert. And a lot of people don't recognize that. I kind of have the similar setup. I think we kind of share that in some ways. Where it's like, sometimes I'm done peopling. Like I'm done peopling. I'm like, hey, I'm good. I'm cool by myself. Because even right now, I'm actually I'm on a mid-year reset. That's actually one of the things I'm doing right now. Where I took a week and I just went down to one of my favorite places, and it's just like just the vibe out. Like nothing was planned. I didn't have to do nothing. I don't have to see nobody outside of taking some meetings and some other stuff, but it's a getaway to reset life. But to your point about connection, one part of it, I come from a ministerial family, Bible based, and so I've had prophetics and prophecies from people talking about me being a great connector, and it's funny enough, I'm actually walking that out and living that out now, and I always find greater ways to serve other people. It's funny when I think about, this being episode 1999 and even talking about, your story. Think about this. This is something I'll leave with you, something I'll even put to your audience. If you were to ever quit, how many people would not be able to benefit from the gifting that you have to get them to the next thing? And so you have to understand, in so many ways, we know as people, we are bridges that will help the next person get to their next thing. And so I think you have to realize what you even carry from this aspect of being a voice, literally in this concept, but this voice that you carry for other people to be able to be a bridge to help them get across to the next thing, because they might have got inspired by this person's story. They literally are benefiting off of your curiosity to ask great questions to help their own life out. So if you ever get to a moment, and this is something I face, I think a lot of entrepreneurs face, I think people just in general, they face it. If you ever get to the moment where you want to quit, because we all done been there, we all done been there. You have to remember why you started and think about what kind of a disservice you would do to other people that's depending on you to do your part. Because it ain't just about you. Your gift is not about you. The Bible talks about your gift will make room for you. And the reality is it'll bring you in front of great people, right? So, but you got to operate in your gift. You got to open your box. You can't be sitting here over looking at what Billy and Johnny and Timmy and Susie and Keisha and Paul or what everybody else got. What's in your box? Because your gift will make room for you. And everybody has a gift of some sort. And so until we start to open our own gift and our own box and kind of figure out what we bring to the table, we can't be so hyped on what everybody else got. Focus on your stuff. Get back to doing what you're supposed to do. And it kind of creates a connection, because when people know what you have, it's easy to connect when they know what they can connect it with.
Absolutely. Totally. I mean, it's just, but I mean, as like you, it's interesting that you would just drop that and lay that, because it's very true. There have been several times where I have literally tried to quit this show throughout the last decade, where I was just like, man, I'm just forget this, and I'd stop doing episodes for maybe a couple of months or something, and I'd get people to reach out, or a brand would reach out, be like, hey, could you talk to this person, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, I'm not really doing that. Well, you should. you should be doing it, Ash. I'm like, Lord, and I do kind of feel as though this is a part of my calling, my voice.
Yeah.
That's a part of the calling. So, I definitely I feel you on that one.
And you got to think about it too. You don't know how close you are you don't know how close you are to your breakthrough. It's almost like the little meme. I know most people have seen it, where the person digging for diamonds and they stop just shy of actually accessing them. You got to think. You don't know. Your breakthrough could be 30 seconds away from right now.
This is true.
Your breakthrough could be a day away. It doesn't matter the time frame. Is that the biggest thing is you don't quit. And I mean, I think that's the one thing we always have to remember. You're talking about 10 years in the game.
Yeah.
And no matter what level you want to take it, it's just like it's necessary to keep going. Because what's the alternative?
Yeah.
You say nothing. You hold everything that you have in. And then at the end of the day, it's like What was that for? You know, you get gifted with all these things and these abilities, and then it's like, you ain't do nothing with it. Well,
exactly.
Why?
Yeah, it's a waste. It's wasted.
It really is. Yeah. And it's like, you think about it from that aspect. It's just like, you know, I can only imagine, you know, what it's like to actually lose a parent like that. And I have, you know, we have family members that have passed, you know, my cousin, you know, they lost family members and stuff like that. And I don't know what that's like directly, right? Yeah. But I can empathize with the understanding of that person that you've known for your whole life is not here. Yeah. And it's just like, you know, how do we honor that legacy? And I'm sure every day it's hard, you know, just in case when you think about certain times and certain setups and all these other things. But, you know, the reality is you have to keep going because that's what they would want you to do in terms of fulfilling what they put in you, right? Yeah. You know, and it's almost like you have an opportunity to be able to live out all the things they deposited into you. Have an opportunity to live out all the things they deposited into you and put it on a grand display. Yeah. Almost as presenting a legacy and showing them that, hey, you know, your efforts and labor were not in vain.
Essentially. Yeah. I mean, going into a little bit about, you know, I guess we're talking about me today. I didn't think that we would be talking about me, but we're talking about me today. So we're going to talk a little bit about, you know, my mama. Her name was Donna Teresa. Donna Teresita. You know, she was born in. I used to say that to her all the time. She was like, Ashley, just stop it. Why you got to say my name like that? Yeah, no, she was born in Jamaica, and she came to the States when she was 13. And a lot of people know or don't know. You know, a lot of the British colonies, you know, were ruling over a lot of the Caribbean countries, so their schooling over there is very advanced. Very, very much. It's like, especially if they're at a great school or like a Catholic school in the West Indies, it's always advanced. So she was 13 and she came over here. Now, just because of her age, they wanted to put her in, you know, with her peers, which were like, I think, 7th graders. She was doing 9th grade work. So they kept testing her to try to see, you know, try to get her to slip up and, all right, man, test her. And she was scoring off the charts. So they had to put her in 9th grade. And so she graduated at 16, I believe. And, you know, she started on this journey in life. And she is my biggest inspiration in life. And, you know, you have your good days, you have your bad days. But, you know, it's still very much a huge part of who I am. So speaking her name is still giving her life. And speaking her name and talking about her is such an inspiration. And she didn't have the easiest pregnancy with me. And she let me know that my entire existence. That's what that it was not an easy pregnancy. I mean, for one, she had endometriosis. And endometriosis is a very serious condition where, you know, it usually causes infertility. And so she had to go through several different surgeries and stuff. And doctors told her, look, you don't need to have a baby. Your endometriosis is bad. We've already had to take one of your ovaries. The other ovary, it's a sick ovary. It's not going to bear no fruit. You ain't going to have nothing. So she went to all the doctors in the metro, New York, Connecticut area, even New Jersey. And they all told her the same thing. And my grandmother told her, she said, the doctors don't have the final say-so.
Come on.
God has the final say-so.
Come on.
God has that. And just because of that, my mother, and obviously my father, you know, kept at it. And, you know, and I came to being. And so the whole pregnancy with me, she just really was trying her best because she looked at my life as being her one chance of being a mother. That's all she ever wanted. And so when she would get morning sickness, she would slice up ginger and she would chew on ginger during work. She would chew on raw ginger to keep her morning sickness under wraps. And I think she already knew that I was going to be a little fire starter because when she would go get checked and everything and they would try to see my sex, I would always cross my legs. Like, I'm a lady. Be trying to look all up in my stuff. I'm a lady. It was like, okay, you know, this baby, this is going to be an interesting one. You know, and also, let me tell you, before she was pregnant with me, the doctors told her also, if you try to have a baby's going to have mental retardation. The baby's going to have all kind of medical issues. It's going to be a lifetime of heartache and pain. They said all this negative. They spoke all this negativity over this little baby that wasn't even there yet. All this negativity. Yeah. So she goes on with the pregnancy. I was supposed to be born in March. Her birthday's in March also. And I was 3 weeks overdue. I was born in April.
Best month ever. I'm gonna just tell you, look, for those that know, they know.
I was like, she made this nice little ecosystem up in here with me, I got this nice little home. I got food. I got shelter. I'm good. What we ready to come out to the world for? But the poor thing, God rest her soul, she just woke up one day and just went to the hospital. She's like, look, y'all gonna have to get this baby. Okay? Please, I'm tired. She's tired. She's tired. And I can understand that. So they had a weird rule at the hospital. I was born at Lawrence Hospital in the Bronx. And she went on a Saturday. My grandmother's birthday was April the 3rd, which was that Sunday. So she wanted to, okay, my baby be born on my mother's birthday. What a way to honor her. All these things. They said they didn't deliver babies on Sundays. I don't know what was going on in the city or whatever. But they went in and got me that Monday morning, or Monday afternoon, I should say. They came and got me because I wasn't coming out. I was like, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to chill. I ain't no issue. I was going to chill. But my mother, she exemplified in her life God-fearing. God-fear just always had us in the Word. Whether it was we were doing our own Bible study at home, whether we were just having morning devotionals together, very big about that. Watching by her example, she was a school teacher. She went and got her master's degree. She worked in the court systems. She worked in the courthouse. She worked, oh my goodness, she had so many different aspects, which is, I guess, kind of why a lot of people look at, oh my gosh, your resume is so crazy. Well, you see who my mama was, right? Jamaica's got like 15, 11 jobs before we too. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of goes with a lot of, my upbringing and what I watched her and what I watched my grandmother do. And so I think I've indirectly, subconsciously kind of modeled my life after what she did. And it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet because I know that she watches over me. I know that she's with me. Yep. But, you do get to those points where, some days you have good days and that's not so good days. Yeah. But I do my best in just honoring her name because she had the biggest impact on me on anything that I was doing. And like I said, this show is I'd say a dedication of love for her. Absolutely. And that's where we're at with things. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the short abridged version.
I feel like the therapist. I'm like, how do you feel?
How you do the Jedi mind tricks on me, Tony? Just switch things up.
Hey fam, I'm led how I'm led. It is what it is. But I will tell you, I think the bigger thing, I think everything that was said and stated was so necessary because somebody needed that. There's somebody listening that needed that. They needed all of that. And so you have to be in a mode of it ain't about you. Always, right? When we host stuff, we do things, and the things that we're gifted with and able to share with people, it ain't about us. Ain't got nothing to do with us at all. And that's the beauty of it. It's like when you know how to sit in that space, and knowing that this whole lifetime of an experience ain't got nothing to do with you. It's so freeing, so releasing, so beautiful. Yeah. And then it's just like, I get to do this. I get to be a conduit and a channel and a bridge for somebody else.
Yes. I love it. All right,
so as we bridge from finishing out the 1999s, bridging to the 2000s. Come on now. Come on. You ready for that word? You ready for that word?
I'm telling you, that 2000 episode, that 2000, y'all think this one is special. This is a great episode, but 2000, oh baby. Y'all, you got to stay tuned. You gotta stay tuned.
So, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you know, you look at it, it's amazing when we think about that transition time. And that's what it is. It's a transition episode to the next thing. It's only going to get bigger. It's only going to grow more. It's only going to be able to be that much more of an impact for other people. So, you know, walk in that. Like I told you, and on a separate conversation, I said, believe bigger.
Yeah.
And I mean that 100%. And that's to anybody else who's listening to this conversation. Believe bigger. Believe bigger. You think that you believe in, but take it up higher. Because God is willing and able to do exceedingly abundantly above all you could ever ask or think. And because of that, you need to expand your thinking process. You need to expand your asking process. You need to expand your expectation process. Because not only can he fulfill, but he will, but you got to get in line. You got to have that faith to believe it. You got to believe it. Everything is always happening around you, and it's happening for you. But if you don't have the right mindset, you will think that things are happening to you. But that's not the case. That's not the case. Things are happening for you. You just have to see it as that. So for anybody listening, as you listen to this whole conversation, look at things differently. Change your perspective. It's not the situation. It's the way that you're looking at it. Look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture. It's a bigger picture that's present. Just look at the bigger picture.
Absolutely. Now, Tony, like I said, I don't want us to get too far off, you know, into talking about me and my crazy existence. Because you know your sister's crazy, right? You know,
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say crazy.
You know, your sis be out there sometimes, you know. And sometimes I'm the only one that understand me.
That's okay. Sometimes we are empowered with great ideas, and sometimes so you got to look at it because you got to remember you got to think what you say and what you speak is what your expectation is for your life. Ain't nobody trying to be in an asylum.
We have
to look at it and we have to call these things properly because what happens is, and this is, I feel like I'm just going to a lot of places right now, but a lot of times we cannot carelessly use language over our life. You have to be not just intentional in action, but intentional in words and intentional in thoughts. Because when you think about the word crazy people that they get put up into straitjackets and stuff because they have a psychoanalysis. Let me make sure I got this right. It's a psychosis, but they have look. I got a neuroscience cousin that could break that word down. But it's somewhere you have a psychoanalysis of a structure or depletion or breakdown, if you will, when they go crazy, right? But I'm like, you don't necessarily want to be crazy,
right?
You might be, you know, filled with ideas. You might have bright futures or whatever. But I ain't gonna be crazy,
right?
Because crazy, I think Kanye even said this. Crazy is dismissive. Because a lot of times people try to call people crazy that have a genius thought, intellect, and idea that think above other people. That ain't crazy. That's just how we think on two different levels.
Right. Okay.
So be mindful of the word. And again, it's not, you know, not chastising you, slap your hand.
Yeah, but it's being wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Be intentional about the things that you call and speak over your life. Because you will have a result of that. Because all your life is a resultant of the words that you see, the words that you said, which are seeds that have been planted. And now you are reaping the results of what you planted and what you said. That's all it is. So, you know, as we look at it and we kind of see, it's almost to the point of if we see what we are experiencing right now in this moment and we don't like it, then you have the ability to change it.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. Now, I don't want to go too far off left field because I want people to be checking you out because you have a lot to offer the world. The scent mad, all right, the best scent in the house. I mean, from candles to scent to actual scents. And
we do cologne, candles, colognes. Yes. We do, you know, beard butter, just, you know, whatever. We do a lot of stuff.
Now, but I want you to talk a little bit about for those people that have not checked out the other episode that you've been on featured. Let's talk about the hotel.
Yeah. So actually, that's one of the things I'm doing right now. So one of the things that we're doing, our big dream and the big thing we're working towards, and is actually, I'm going to say our big reality is that we're building a hotel. And so these excursions and adventures that I continuously stay on, I go to these places to actually just do a bunch of research. You know, fortunately enough, I've actually been researching some of the top hotels in the world. One of the ones I did about 6 months ago, 5 months ago, during New Year's, I actually went to Paris. I stayed at the Hotel de Louvre, which is a hotel right outside the Louvre Museum. That was amazing. You know, shouts out to Hyatt because they really took care of us. You know, executive suite and all the other kind of cool stuff. But then also, too, I went and took a day trip. I stayed like 2 or 3 days. Went over to Monaco, which is the wealthiest country in the world, and happened to go to an area called the Maya Rivera Hotel, which is actually one of the top 25 hotels in the world. That overlooking like the yacht, the porch, and all that kind of stuff. It helped me dream even bigger. to even show that, you know what, this is not only is this doable, this is very possible. But I say all of that to say, as we expand and as we become reality, as we do things, you have to get in environments that are going to shift your thinking completely. Because it exists, somebody's done it. That means you can do it. It's not saying that you can't do it, but you have to put yourself around in those areas and the situations that help you believe. Like I said before, we talk about believing bigger. Yeah. Get around people that's got some big faith. That you can go see some big faith. If you got a dream to be a dancer, you need to be going to watch Alvin Ailey, or you need to be looking at some stuff. Like, if you got a game plan for something and there's some inkling of what you're trying to do, go immerse yourself in it and put yourself around it so it keeps your faith built up. So case in point, anytime I take these trips, I book different hotels. I want to see how they working. I want to see how these concierges are moving. I want to see what amenities they offer. I want to see what it looks like to be able to, to be on the beaches, and what does this feel like? All of these things as we are relating and getting prepared for what we're doing. So, yeah.
Okay. Keeping that in the works. Always doing that research. I know that's good.
Absolutely. And then at some point, you know, that's all of this stuff is building blocks. It's all building blocks. Because, I just look at it on a bigger scale that nothing is ever wasted. No moment, no time, no conversation. Everything will be used at some point. You may not recognize it in the moment, but it's almost like when you look back, that's why people have always said hindsight is 20/20. It's like, I can see it when I look back at it, but sometimes you just have to be in that moment of as you're in it, and then understanding what's happening around you, and then you keep pressing forward.
I saw a quote a couple days ago. It was Viola Davis, and she said that she tells her daughter that you either win or you learn. There is no fail.
Nope.
And I was like, that's very much the truth. You either win or you learn, and you learn how to, hey, this didn't work out the way that I thought it would work out. You know what? I know how to make it better next time.
A great example of that is actually the cleaning product, Formula 409. They found 408 ways where that stuff didn't work. But on the 409th one, that's what they named the product.
That is awesome. Awesome. So, Tony, can you talk about where you at next? Like, where you going next? Like, where can we, watch the next exploration of Tony Rouse? Like, where you going to be at?
Look, I don't even know. I'm gonna tell you, it's almost like Kendrick said it. Sometimes you gotta pop out. I'm just like, at this point, you can follow me along, of course, on Instagram, but I don't even be disclosing my locations half the time anymore, Ash. I'm just like, hey, I'm somewhere. I'm somewhere. But, again, because I think what happens so easily, and I think we all do this, we get on IG or we get on these social media platforms and we see other people's lives and we forget to live our own. And it's like, you know what? No matter where I'm at, where you at? Where's the listener at? Where y'all at? What y'all doing? What's new in your life? What's exciting about you? And I think that's the thing. There's always something that you can be thankful for, even in your own life. Yeah. And I think we have to look at that. It's exciting to be inspired by people, but we cannot be so inspired we forget to include ourselves in that inspiration.
Facts. All facts.
So, yeah. I don't know where I'm going to be at. I'm on the internet. www.meetTonyRouse.com. That's where I'm at. You can go to the website.
I love it. Tony, thank you for coming through. Thank you so much for always saying all me, and sometimes we need a reminder. And thank you for being that person for me to remind me and keep me in the loop of, you know what? You a big deal. This is 1999 is a big, that is big stuff. And
I mean, you got to think about it. Since the last time I talked to you, you have tripled your followers. Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. That's a really big deal.
It is.
And then you just got more good stuff coming. So it's amazing. We're just excited about a lot of stuff. So
absolutely. Yeah. But much more success to you, brother. You're welcome on the show whenever. You just gotta, we just gotta figure it out.
We'll see what the next episode look like. We'll see what happens then. Late breaking news.
Late breaking news. I mean, it's just like I said. You are, and we gave you a shout too, so we can go ahead and talk about it anyways. But no, we got the multifaceted. Tahir Moore. You guys have seen him on like Johnson, Insecure, Black Lady Sketch Show. You've seen him everywhere. Yeah. And Tony actually connected us so that he's going to be our next feature episode. And, we give you a shout, Tony. Cause
I appreciate it. Hey, man, Tahir's a good dude. That is a really, really funny, It's a good dude. And most people don't realize that dude is stylish. Tahir can dress. That's actually how we connected, because we were talking, the candles and talking the fragrances. I mean, one, he knows the stuff, but I'm like, fam, I didn't know. I mean, it's so, like, you talk about a lot of people. There's so many layers to him.
Yes.
That I'm like, yo, he's a good dude. He's such a good dude. So I'm really excited to actually tune in for that one. So
yes, that's gonna be. It was a lot of fun, and he really gets really introspective and shares a lot of his story, and it was definitely a blessing, and he's got a lot of things coming up as well. So you guys stay tuned to that, of course.
So and Tony, next. That's what you asked me where I'm gonna be listening to that episode. I'm gonna listen. That's where can you find Tony Rouse? Listen to the Ash Said It. Listen to the Ash Said It show. Boom.
That's it. Point blank. Period. Tony, again, thank you so very much just for being you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I don't know too many people in this industry that are as encouraging and just really putting good positive energy out into the world. There's so much negative going on. Yep. You are a light within the light. So thank you for being
that. Look, that thank you. That means a lot, because it just means a lot. I'm gonna say that. That's one of the highest compliments anybody can give. It's just telling you that you're a light. Because to your point, there is a lot of dark places. But you know what? As I remember, it's one of my favorite quotes. It says, "Light shines brightest in the deepest darkness." No matter where it's dark, if you shine a light in it, it's gonna light up. It has to. Because darkness can't blind out the light. It can't. So when you carry that torch and that flame and you on fire, it's just like, yo, I'ma light it up. And that's just the how we exude in this world and meant to relate to people. It's like, yo, fam, light it up. Light it up. Shine bright like a diamond. Rihanna told you that.
Hey, sit. I don't know if we're going to get that album, though, Tony, but that's okay. We still love it.
You know what? It is what she said. Look, she said you better catch these Wakanda Forever soundtracks. You better catch that. You better take what you get. I got to sell some mascara.
Love it, love it, love it. Tony, keep on doing what you do, bruh.
Thank you.
We got nothing but love and support for you over here. And we pushing to the top. Who knows where it's going to end up, but I appreciate
in greatness. That's what's going to end in greatness.
Absolutely.
That's what's going to end up
greatness,
in
wonderfulness. We are royalty within itself, and we will have greatness coming. Greatness is on the way.
And greatness is here. It ain't on the way, it's here.
And there's more coming.
Now.
It is absolutely now.
It's now.
Absolutely. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for all of the love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face, you tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.